Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers knockoff review. I'm going to call this a knockoff. We're going to go out there and say this is blatantly a knockoff of Starscream. But oh no. Kubianbao would insist this is actually the KBB model, KBB Deformation Master Scale series, which is a new series for them. This is the MSS-D02, the KBB Starburst. Definitely not Starscream with alloy parts. Side and the back of the box we have pictures of Starscream, and on the back here we just got a list of the alloy parts which are included. Looks like all of the red sections here, like the chest section, the underside of the nose cone, and the section lifting up the air brake. That all appears to be die-cast, as is the Megatron. And it would also appear they have somebody new doing the language translations, because they actually translate and make sense. It comes packaged in a plastic clamshell with his entire coronation set as well. Now, considering I've just reviewed the BB7 Skywarp, this guy does feel a little bit lighter. So let's see how he fares when we get him out of that packaging. Here we have him out of his packaging, and hands up. He actually is really nice. This is the first Starscream Masterpiece figure I have actually owned, and I like it. I like it a lot. Now this guy comes packaged in his jet mode, whereas BB7 Skywarp comes packaged in his robot mode. And of course this does have the coronation set as well, so the box is going to be bigger, so you will probably end up paying more on shipping. But of course don't forget that TF Direct does of course do free shipping on all orders over $150. Just taking a closer look, that's all of the detailing on Starscream. I don't like the Kubianbao or bow on the base there. I should have left that blank. But the actual colour of Starscream, it's nice. It's an off-white, it's more of a murky whitish grey. But I actually really like that. We still have the radar section under the nose cone, which is definitely not a gun, and I definitely didn't think it was for my Skywarp review. That does still click together, but it's not a brilliant connection in there. Something just a little bit off. I think it just feels a little bit off center, but look at that. That's a glorious view of him, isn't it? And here he is with his extra missiles attached as per the requests. They fit on there nice and snugly. Oh, Megatron can still hang on for his dear life on the front of Starscream. Now, because of his weight, he does tend to dangle just a little bit unevenly. I fear that may fall off in due time. And another thing I've noticed, which is a slight difference, our pilot is in fact a clear translucent yellow, so we can add that to our vast variety of multi-coloured pilots. And he does still slide in to the cockpit quite nicely. I emphasised the wrong word there, didn't I? Cockpit. There it is. He's in there rather nicely, flying along. Now, things I've noticed about Starscream in comparison to Skywarp. The plastic quality does seem to be pretty much on par, but there's still a kind of a lighter feel to it. I can't really explain it. It just does feel a little bit thinner, but again, it still feels like a very solid, very passable as a masterpiece plastic. You've got die-cast in these wheels here as well. I can't say that the die-cast really makes much of a difference, but in jet mode it all holds together as it should. Obviously we have no insignia on here, and we don't get any stickers either, at least the BB7 or BBQ, however you call them. I believe Q is 7 in Chinese, hence they've called it BB7 or BBQ. But obviously the Skywarp came with the stickers. This dude does not. I mean, we need one on the nose cone there, wouldn't we? We need a couple on the wings, and that's about it. But there's always our good friends at Toy Hacks. Right, our first port of action to get this guy transformed up is to unplug his null rays and rotate this section up. and around, and that's going to collapse into the side there and fold back these plastic tabs. Now this plastic definitely seems the very best quality that Kubianbao have done. That doesn't mean that it's better than any of the others, but having a lot of their figures, this definitely feels like they've upped their game, maybe even changed their factory. Now that we've got these sections folded over, we can come around to this tail section, and you want to just give that a tug. Now pulling it out enough, it's locked these knee sections in place, and instantly I can feel there's some weight in those thighs. Now split the legs apart, grab this tab here, bring this up, that reveals the foot panel, which you want to bring down, and then you can close this section back off. Untab this section here, bring it down, rotate it around, and that's going to form the front of the foot. Bring this section in, bring this section in, and this section here is actually going to slide upwards like so. So now it's clear of the feet. Now I was looking for a satisfying click there, but I didn't get anything. Unfortunately, nothing clicks and locks into place. It just slides and uses friction to stay there. Lift these wing panels up and out, untabbing them from this tab here and this tab here. I never covered the air brake. Look, there's an air brake. Grab this section here. You're going to pull it out of this wing section here and out of this wing section there. Basically, that's got those tabs in. Now you can then come to these wings, and we're going to fold them up and over. Come around to the arm section. You want to just pull those out, and you want to bring the hand sections down. You want to rotate the upper bicep section around like so. Can really do with some of the KFC hands for all of my Seekers actually. These all come with the standard looking hands, and the KFC ones are just that much better. You want to grab this chest section, you want to rock these sections down. You need to be uber careful though as you rock them down, because these pins that hold them into place are pretty naff. This one here has already popped out several times. See, it will not stay in there. I may have to just glue that pin, but of course that's then going to affect the transformation, isn't it? But anyway, I'm digressing. Pull the arms up, bring these red hinged shoulder sections down, locking the chest into place. Oh, I love it. I love it when they copy other things and they don't quite get it right. The head is meant to push through there, but it's such a ridiculously tight fit. I know the little antenna things do push in, but that's a ridiculously tight fit. This section here is going to flip up. This section is going to go up and over, although the clearance is a bit tight there. And then we can just push and thread this section through, and there's a tab at the back there. That's going to tab into the underside of Starscream's carriage. Let's line that up like so and tab that in. You can now tab these two sections together and push that down onto Starscream's back. Make sure the securing peg is just up on the wings, so when you place the wings back, it should plug in nice and firmly to the back of Starscream's shoulder, and then we can just angle his wings accordingly. Starscream! That's terrible. Here he is, all transformed up into his robot mode. And there are some differences. I've noticed some differences in the mold, and some things just don't work properly. If we bring in the BB7, which is pretty much an identical copy of the MP11 SW, just take a look at this rear section behind the head. This one on Skywarp is actually detached. It sits inside the shoulder sections and it holds everything in there. It's kind of like a back neck brace. So this section is clearly not visible behind the head. Kubianbao decided to have it all as one piece. So we now have that behind the head. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, it sits in here nicely. It's nice and firm. It doesn't go down any further than that. You can wiggle it down a bit and you can have it out at an angle, but that looks very untidy. That's how it's meant to go, and I think they made a big mistake by not keeping that section in there. That's just my opinion. Now, Starstream does look glorious. He's got that very good head sculpt. Unfortunately, it is carried out throughout every single Seeker in this mold. His head does go forwards and backwards on that rocker there. He does have compressed head syndrome. He can look up very nicely, and he can also look down remarkably well. We have friction joints on the shoulders. We have forward and back on a very, very nice ratchet. We have an upper bicep swivel. We have a double jointed bend at the elbow. Again, we have these fingers joined there. They're on a peg and a pin. And we do have the option to have a pointing finger, and of course the thumb is on a ball. We have rotation at the wrist. Now come down to the waist. The waist on these Seekers don't really have any rotation. We just have a little bit of a wiggle around the bum area there. The skirts can slide up and down. Not really a huge amount, but it's enough to show visible thigh screws and give us a nice motion forward. Now that's a very, very good ratchet on those sides. Come all the way down. Side skirts can come up, allowing us for some movement outwards. Not really a great range there though, due to the hindrance. If we push this section down, we still have hindrance there. Nothing untowards. No real splits for Starscream. Upper thigh rotation. Very nice bend at the knee. No pistons or anything working on the knee there. No inner knee detailing, but do get a very, very nice bend at the knee. I do like that. And down to the feet, of course, we get the rotation on the toe. We get some forward and backwards motion on the front and back. And we do get the thrusters, which help with his balance. Here is the trio altogether. And I must admit, the Hasbro actually feels the weakest of the three. He does feel lighter, and his joints are much more wobblesome. I do like all three. Starscream is my favourite of the three. He is built well. I believe the BB7 is built to withstand more of my brute force. I am quite a klutz, but I just love how Starscream looks. I think the colours look fantastic, and he has finally topped off my Seeker trio. Let's get him ready for his coronation. Add the new extended firing null rays. Slide his cape over the back section here. That's going to slide on all the way down. There's a tab on the shoulder. You just line that up with the tab underneath, and that should slide on and tab in, and then thrown and coronate Starscream. Now the cape itself is hinged, ball jointed up top here and hinged there, so we can push and extend this cape all the way out, making it huge. And there we have him all coronated. I am going to be keeping him like that. He looks fantastic. This is the first coronated Starscream I've had, and I love it. It's a fantastic little kit. So, you know, Kubianbao have done a pretty nice job here. Have they done as good a job as BB7? I don't know. Heard a few QC issues regarding some of the BB7 figures, some of the shoulder joints coming off, so please, if you do have the BB7 Skywarp, please be very careful of your shoulder joints. Now, Starscream, we already know I have problems with his abdominal section coming off the pin. That can be fixed with a dab of glue, but really, I shouldn't have to be fixing it with a dab of glue. It's something that I shouldn't have to be doing. He is a little back heavy with this big cape section on, so I've had to just slide his leg sections down and to give him a better foot base. But all in all, the cape and accessories all fit exceptionally well, which I'm glad of because of the high-rise section at the back behind his neck. Obviously, that's a modification and a route they choose to take. And it hasn't affected the coronation kit, which I was worried it was going to. I love the fact we've got firing rockets. He just looks like Starscream, and I am over the moon. I've already tried the coronation kit on the other two, and it does fit. So the actual mold itself is the exact same size. It's just those little things they missed out on the back there, and the fact they chose to pin the chest as opposed to screw it. But other than that, it's a ruddy good Starscream. Now, they are going to be doing their own Skywarp, so it's entirely up to you. As far as I'm aware, this is pretty much identical to the MP11. It's just those slight little modifications. So, do you want to get yourself a cheaper Starscream? And if so, this is a very, very good option for you. I've been bashing it around. It hasn't fallen apart. It's withstanded the might of the collectible household. BB7 is another option for you. They will be doing the rarer of the Seekers like Hotlink, etc. Don't think you're going to be disappointed with whichever one you choose. But if I was to pick, I think I'd be swaying slightly towards the KBB. Even with the faults, just something about them. I just feel this is kind of built to last a little bit more than the BB7. This is aimed at ages 6+, so there's got to be some sort of resilience, some sort of shelf diving durability there. Thanks again to the guys over at TF Direct for making this review possible. If you'd like to pay them a visit, just click the link in the description below. And until next time, from myself and Starburst, or Opal Fruits, only the British will get that. Until next time, thanks for watching, a goodbye.